All right, another day, day 18. So it was a Friday, and what we did was we worked on a group project, building a website according to Figma design. This time we had a Spanish website, Spanish design, as I understand. My guess it would be that it's Spanish, but I could be wrong. Which didn't really matter for us because we just took the content and we plugged it in to the website, built the website with HTML and CSS, and worked on some sections together, and some we realized that it might be faster if we split up and do different sections and then put it together, which gave us another set of challenges because some parts didn't want to come together that easily, so we had to do quite a bit of adjustment. But here's how the website looks. So we were working together on this hero part on the menu. So you can see there's buttons, animations. If you scroll, the menu stays on top. Technically it should be a little different color once we start scrolling, but we have not covered that in class before we started this, so it was not necessary. Now we could do it, but when we were working on this was as much as we knew how to technically. So then we split into sections, so I helped a little bit with the second part with these numbers, but more problem solving. Then this is the part that I built. Then somebody else built this part. Then we figured out, because some of the elements were defined in a way that it made those attributes applied to apply to all the parts of the website, and it only needed to be applied to this section. So that took a little bit of time to figure it out, and then somebody else built this part, and then finally I worked on the last part, building the footer. So that was our Friday project. So we worked on it 2 weeks ago, and then we basically finished it this Friday. Another thing that we were working on is the homework assignment. So in the homework assignment, we had 10 tasks. So first task was to generate 14 H1 headlines and 14 H4 headlines. So you can see them here, put them in line. And then the second part was to generate random numbers. You can see these numbers are random. Keep generating whenever I refresh the page. So 44, if I remember correctly. Let me check. This is the second task, 44 numbers that are generated randomly. Then we have circles. And interesting thing about this homework is that in HTML file looks like this, which means that everything that you see on the page is generated through JavaScript. So basically it changes code after the HTML file is loaded, has nothing in it, and then all these things are plugged in with a JavaScript. So here had to generate the circles, and then make the colors alternate. So we used 4 cycles, and here had to make the calculations so it calculates the numbers. This one was interesting. There had to be 444 stars, and those stars had to be in rows of 44. So that's this. Again, used another 4 cycle within a 4 cycle. yeah, here. And then finally we come to squares. These were quite interesting to me. So number 7 had to make circles, no, not circles, squares within squares that are random colored. So we had function for random color, and then drew the circle, and it took a while to figure out how to do it. Finally, I came to a conclusion that I can put them one into another by first making the size 6 pixels by so we have 14 squares. So basically I'm running a cycle from 1 to 14 and then making the size 100 pixels minus 6 times the index, so 6 times the either 0, 1 and to 14. So that gave me the width and height of this, and then I made one variable where I start the div element, so basically where I start the square element, and a separate element where the closing tags of the element are saved, and in the end I put them together. So that's how I managed to plug them in, and as you will see if I refresh the page, the colors are random, so they change every time. This is actually not a picture, it is made by the elements. So different elements, so here I used a code for the element to do the green things, and then I used the symbol of underscore dash for the yellow parts, and that was number 8 was just to put it in a square, and number 9 was to make the yellow part. And then interesting last task was to generate a bunch of different circles, random size circles with random colors, fit them in on the screen. So I didn't exactly manage to fit it on the screen. I still have a scroll bar, which I think I'll work to figure out, but basically they do fit in this, and if I make it smaller they stay in there. And I think there's 400 of them if I remember correctly. Let me refresh. Yeah, 444 as well. Circles, if I refresh the page, they move randomly to random positions. So yeah, that's the homework, and that's what we did on Friday. So I'm done with this part of homework, and next is JavaScript events and clicks and all that sort of fun stuff. So I'm getting a hang of it, and at the same time we're adding different things that are still quite confusing. So we'll see how it goes. Trying to keep up